Okay, so Sweet Lexi picked our Simba for the day. So we are going to listen to the Lion King in the background. It's very inspirational. Okay, the head, I would just say circle. I really want you to pay attention. This face is not looking directly at us. This is a big difference that some people mess up on. So you've got the center of the head isn't quite center, it's off to the side. And then I look at the direction of the snout, and the snout doesn't come all the way down, but I'm dividing it that way for you so that you can kind of get an idea of how this face shape is going to go. I feel like even though we're a quarter into the class, I'm still running into when people draw faces and they're off-centered like this one, we're getting it wrong. So I want you to look at how I took the circle and I cut in. This is the eye area, and this is way too close. And then we've got the cheek, and you really pay attention to this actual shape, how much of the cheek comes out. I started with it really thick, now I need to make that come in. Then we've got this jaw, and then this side of the face, this should be the same height over here, and then the head cones up a bit. So then you've got these big cub ears. Do you call a lion a cub? Is that correct?
I think it's called a puppy.
A puppy. Yeah, I don't think so. Okay, so big ears coming off this side. This looks really weird, like an elephant almost right now. So that should be close. Once we start putting some detail in the snout, that'll help us proportion this a little better. I still think my eyes are a little off, but I'm going to wait until we do the snout and then adjust that correctly. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is double check the height of the eye to the skull. Quick double checks, like how is this angle, how does this relate to the ear, how does this relate to the ear, did I put that in the right spot? All these checks should help us. If I feel like I'm pretty close, I'm going to pause and I'm going to look at where the neck starts. Okay, this is also important. A lot of times people make necks too thick. Pay attention to this angle and it angles, and don't fake what you can't see. So I have this motion and I'm going to stop. That's another mistake I think people make, is they want to continue because there's paper space. They think they have to fake the rest. Don't. It's very hard to get those proportions accurate without seeing them. Some people are natural at it, but I would say that's a small percentage, and I am not one of them, so I just don't fake anything. I only put those proportions what I see. Okay, so this looks awesome, right? Just teasing, it doesn't yet. So I'm going to look at the snout. Now, this curve right here seems pretty dang close for the eye, and that snout continues. And you've got this really wide nose, and I'm just going to triangle that area in with the curve at the bottom and try and make that as close as I can, and then this nose side comes out. Now remember, this is parallel to this side and it does not go into the eye, so I am incorrect with the eye, so I'll just erase that, fix these lines and get them out of my way. So I've got this nose, and before I continue with that eye, I'm going to drop down and draw the rest of the mouth. So we've got this top section. I just want you to look at where the nose stops and kind of eyeball that this shape is correct. This is like a little rectangle that's soft edges. I still see the edge of his cheek over here that goes down into the jaw. And then I'm going to come over here. I'm drawing lightly because I might be incorrect on some of these, so I might have to make some adjustments. And how wide, so if I take the end of the nose here and where this part of the mouth ends, how wide is that area? And I would say it's about that wide, so I want to start to curve this in like that. And then I've got to figure out where this bottom chin part comes in about here and ends about right there. So I'm going to curve this out, bring that over. That seems a little longer than what I'm looking at, so I'm going to fix and adjust that real quick. And I think that's pretty dang close, so I'm just going to be happy with that. adjust my lines on this side. And then look at this jawline. And it's pretty cool if you've ever watched the making of movies at the end. These artists went and they studied lions and their habitat and get their proportions pretty accurate. So that's kind of cool to think about, where we're just copying something, all the work they did to go. Okay, so I'm just, even though I say don't go into detail too soon, I do want to get the detail of this, his nose, just so I can make sure I'm accurate before I start. And I think that's pretty close, so I'm going to stop there. I'm really paying attention to how far out this cheek comes, and then I'm going to adjust this ear. I love that we're listening to Lion King music, by the way, you guys. Okay, this inner part comes here, and then it just swoops down. Pretty simple. Okay, so now we're going to look at this side. I'm going to fix this neck. I'm realizing it. That would be a broken neck if it came in sharp angle right there. Okay, so this eye was giving us problems. So we want to make sure the bottom of the eye should be the same height as, top of the eye, bottom of the eye, same as the other side. Well, let me double check. This one actually comes up a little higher, but this should be the same on the bottom. Okay, so if I have this line and it's correct, comes out just a little bit more. This eye starts right here, and it does curve to this side. It's quite wide, and then it curves back in. Actually comes down a little bit here. Okay, now I'm going to go in. There's like a bottom line right here. I've already done the line over here. And then we've got the actual eye. And I think that's pretty accurate. Look at the distance you're leaving around the edge, in the relationship to the edge, I should say. Okay, and then I'm going to do this side. This side comes in so you don't see all of it. And they're not quite the same height, but very, very close. This one's a little bit higher because of the way the head's tilted. Okay, and I'm going to stop right there, and I'm going to look at this distance between the edge of the head and this right eye and get that accurate. So I think what I did is I need to make this a little wider. And that seems pretty good. Okay, now we can go in and start doing those fun details. Let's start with the eyes. We've got, because it's this great young lion, we've got these big round eyes. This one seems a little smaller. And then we've got the pupil and the highlight. Pupil. Stay focused, girls. Okay, and then the pupil I need to color that in a little better. If you do the pupil and the highlight incorrect, it gives him kind of crazy eyes right now. He's got a little bit of some crazy eyes. Okay, yeah, that looks a little better. And just go ahead and start darkening your lines up. think if you just practice drawing this guy, this character over and over, you could draw it this fast from the beginning. It's kind of cool to watch these artists after they've done this for so long. They just know right where every part goes. And he's got this little young tuft of fur. Okay, and I think that covers it. You can take the iris, shade that in. Okay, there you go.